Christianity is facing an existential threat in Nigeria. Thousands and thousands of Christians are being killed. Radical Islamists are responsible for this mass slaughter. I am hereby making Nigeria a country of particular concern. That's a legal definition. When the Christians or any such group is slaughtered, like is happening in Nigeria, 3,100 versus 4,476 worldwide. What horrible numbers. Something has to be done.
Hi, this is Nnamdi. Welcome back to African Viewpoint. So, this is a good news and a very good Christmas gift to we Nigerians. I will say we Nigerians because what just happened, whether you are a Christian, whether you are a Muslim, as long as you are a lover of peace and prosperity, and you have common sense, this is something that anyone will applaud. So we just woke up to this news that United States, at the command of the President Trump, has launched an attack at the targets of militants and terrorist targets in the northwest of Nigeria, in that is in particular Sokoto State in particular. So they have successfully launched a kind of an attack, which Donald Trump has promised, as you may have seen at the beginning of this video. You know, this is something that many people don't know about Trump, and he's a controversial figure, I agree. Nevertheless, I like most of the things he does. He's never perfect, he has his flaws. But some people have called him racist, some people have called him fascist, some people have called him all kinds of names. But I think it's about the only president in the United States that is consequential, the most, I think about the only consequential United States presidents that have been in the history. Okay, so we have had so many presidents come and go in the past, presidents of United States that have come and gone in the past. Even the recent one that was Joe Biden. Many things happened under his watch, and he couldn't even. In fact, the situation got worse in the United States and for the whole world. You can see that there are so many wars that started under his watch, and a lot of things that he could have prevented that he didn't. But Donald Trump is a different person. So with that, in November, when he came out and declared and said that the killings of Christians in Nigeria shouldn't continue, wouldn't continue, does not have to continue, and can't continue, and because he's not going to allow it. Ever since, there are this kind of divide, this kind of debate going on around the world and even in Nigeria here. So some of us are for it, some of us are not. But I know that majority of Nigeria, especially aside from the elites that are benefiting, that have political interest and whatever have you, but most of the common people actually buy the idea of United States or any international community intervening, because it has gone to the point that it has become a daily occurrence. This kidnapping and killings of innocent people and Christians and all that, it has become a daily occurrence that has been normalized. It has become a norm now in Nigeria, even though when it happens, our media doesn't carry it anymore because it's a normal thing, and it has come to a point where we have accepted it that way. So now these people are carrying out, these terrorists and the so-called Fulani bandits are now carrying out their attack and whatever with so much without kind of having kind of the fear that they might be held accountable. They are just doing it brazenly, openly, and in a glaring way. So until recently, when it attracted the attention of the international community, especially the United States and Donald Trump in person, who made a comment about it, who now put out a comment. So this is a great thing. He has followed up with his promise that he's going to do something about it if Nigeria government fails to do something, which I think Nigerian government has failed its people and its citizens right from the beginning. They are still failing now. And thank God that Donald Trump has given us the Christmas gift or Christmas present ever to Nigerians, and many Nigerians welcomed it. So this is one. Actually, there are two things that I want to mention. I want to make mention in this video. One is the Christmas gift. The other one is some kind of a Christmas gift too, because I'm going to come to that as well. But let's start with this one. So after the attack was carried out, he even came out to, kind of confirm the attack that he instructed and he, ordered to be carried out in Nigeria. And he said that this is just the beginning. And my prayers and hope as will always be that at the end of the day, that the situation in this country is going to be, kind of brought uh, to under control. Is going to be brought under control, and everything will now, kind of begin to work as it should be, because people, especially innocent people, do not have to be dying unnecessarily because of some greedy people, or some people that have been radicalized because of whatever belief that they have. So this is a very good gift for all Nigerians, be you a Christian or a Muslim, because this is one thing our leaders are good at. They always try to, kind of divide us with speeches, with rhetorics, to divide us and saying that this is not a Christian thing, this is not a Muslim thing, that the United States is trying to do this or do that. And some people are biting this bait of theirs. So whether he's a Christian or not, however, I know that the Christians are, kind of particularly targeted in Nigeria and being killed. But whichever way you want to believe it, whether it is mostly Christians or that Muslims are also involved. Of course, some Muslims are involved. Where those Muslims, the terrorists also attack the Muslims that they think that are not Muslim enough. They also attack them because they are also expecting those Muslims to join them in the campaign of killing the Christians. And when they don't, they will always also target them as well. So this is a welcome development, and a lot of people are applauding it. I'm going to show you the video as we go on. So this is the video of the attack. I'm going to show you the video just briefly and not the whole of the video. Anyway, so this is it.
The United States carried out an airstrike against Islamic State militants in northwest Nigeria at the request of Nigeria's government. U.S. President Donald Trump and the U.S. military said on Thursday, claiming the group had been targeting Christians in the region. Tonight, at my direction as Commander-in-Chief, the United States launched a powerful and deadly strike against ISIS terrorist scum in northwest Nigeria, who have been targeting and viciously killing, primarily, innocent Christians, at levels not seen for many years, and even centuries, Trump said in a post on Truth Social. The U.S. military's Africa Command said the strike was carried out in Sokoto State at the request of the Nigerian authorities and killed multiple ISIS militants. The strike comes after Trump, starting in late October, began warning that Christianity faces an existential threat in Nigeria and threatened to militarily intervene in the West African country over what he says is its failure to stop violence targeting Christian communities. Pentagon Chief Pete Hegseth followed up with a post on X, thanking the Nigerian government for its support and cooperation, and vowing more to come.
So this is it. So this is a confirmation that these strikes indeed happened. So Pete Hegseth, who is the Secretary of Department of War, Secretary of Defense, which is the Department of War, and then Donald Trump himself also validated this news that it actually happened with the cooperation of Nigerian government. So this is a very good development. I only hope that they are going to continue to cooperate so that these monsters, these barbaric people that have been killing people, without any without any human sympathy, will also be brought to book and be held accountable and responsible, dead or alive. So this is what I wish to say. And so there are, if you go online now, you will see a lot of news outlets and even independent political commentators, saying things about it. So this is a very good welcome development. So, like I was saying, it's a good one. So, but my only issue is this. One thing is this: President Trump is doing something about this. He's someone that says something and he follows it through. Most often, what he says, he does not just make an idle statement or make an idle declaration or threat. He always follows what he says through. And I have always thought that he's going to come. It is going to come to this. But the only thing I don't know is what time. When is it going to be? But him acting is going to act, except if Nigeria government steps up, which I doubt that Nigerian government will be able to step up and do something without the intervention of the United States. So now it has begun and it has started happening. So someone was also saying that this is that Nigeria had agreed to certain terms or kind of conditions that the United States had given to the Nigeria government when they had a meeting back in November when Nuhu Ribadu, the NSC of Nigeria, visited the United States and had a meeting with Pete Hegseth, and they had agreement, and there was this certain agreement that they agreed upon, so that they agreed. But someone was also saying that they agreed to these terms or to these conditions because they are believing when they agree to it that it's going to slow the actions or the what the United States would probably do in Nigeria. That is, slow their time of intervention in Nigeria or whatever it is. That is not going to make United States to kind of come into Nigeria in a rush. That is going to delay them. So and someone was actually saying, and I buy that idea that it's a kind of they are trying to wait out Trump's tenure, Trump's term, because that he has only 4 years and he has already spent 1 year. There are only 3 years now remaining. So if they are going to play along with him, hopefully they are going to play along with him, kind of on certain level to slow him down and for him not to do any meaningful thing as regards to this until his time runs out. And probably someone else that is going to come in his stead probably would not care as much as he does. So, and there is a highly possible thing that is going to happen if what happens when Donald Trump leaves office, because in the past we have not seen any president that was so concerned and so interested in the issues concerning Nigeria, especially in this issue of in this aspect of terrorism. We have seen them in the past. Even Joe Biden, what he did was to remove, because in his first time, if you don't know that Trump put Nigeria, designated Nigeria in his first time as a country with a particular concern. He designated Nigeria as a country with particular concern. Did you know what Joe Biden did when he came? He removed Nigeria from a country from that country of a particular concern. He removed them. He removed us from that kind of status. So that is to tell you that these people don't care. They only talk, and they don't do nothing. All right. So what Joe Biden did was actually to undo a lot of things that Donald Trump did. There are a lot of things that Donald Trump did that he undid, and this is one of them. So this is to tell you that you don't know the kind of president that is going to come after him and what is going to happen. But I wish and I hope that he's going to achieve so much before he leaves office. So this is number one, and it's a great thing and it's a welcome development. But I'm going to show you also the comments of people, especially Nigerians, even across the world, that are making comments on this very particular video right here. Look at it. This one said, "I am from Nigeria and I'm happy for this." This one says, "I am from love from Nigeria. Merry Christmas." Of course, Muslim government officials will deny the slaughter. The best Christmas gift from US. Taking care of genocide when nobody else would. You see, there is a lot and lots of support for this, attack. We are with you, Mr. Trump. God bless you. From Australia. Best Christmas gift ever. Christians unite. Love to all of our brothers and sisters all over the world from Australia. So the list goes on and on and on. You understand? So this is a very good development. It's a very good one. So when you see the comment under this very video that I showed to you, this is the Economic Times. So the comments are positive. That is to tell you that it is a welcome development by we Nigerians. So that is the other one. So the other gift we are talking about is about this man. It's about this man. Okay? So it's about this man. Sorry.
And he fought back. And now the state has convicted him for fighting back, for not allowing himself to be killed.
This man is currently on death row waiting to be hanged, and his crimes will absolutely shock you. His name is Sunday Jackson, and Sunday, who is a native of Adamawa State, was a student at the time, barely trying to make ends meet by farming in his farm in Kodomti community, Numa local government of Adamawa State. One day in January of 2015, Sunday went to his farm, only to be met by a Fulani headsman on his farm, with his cattle grazing on the farm. The name of the Fulani headsman is called Buba Ado Bawuro. A furious Sunday, seeing Buba on his farm, confronted Buba on the farm, and then this led to a physical fight. As they were having their fight, the Fulani headsman Buba brought out a knife, and as they continued to fight, Buba stabbed Sunday at the back and also stabbed Sunday on his leg. But as the fight ensued, Sunday was able to overpower Buba, and Sunday stabbed him 1, 2, 3 on his neck, and this eventually led to Buba's death, leaving him in the pool of his own blood. Sunday was later arrested on the count of murder and eventually tried in the High Court of Yola by a judge called Judge Fatima. This trial will last from February of 2020 up until August of 2020, and Sunday will insist on his statement that he did what he did as an act of self-defense, and he only unalived Buba to protect his own life. The ruling was not given until February of 2021, exactly 167 days after the court hearing. Nigerian constitution states that no ruling should be passed after 90 days, but this one exceeded the timeline and was given 167 days after the court hearing. In this ruling, the judge gave Sunday Jackson a death penalty, stating that since he confessed to unaliving Buba, he must face the same fate. The judge also blamed Sunday Jackson for not using the option of fleeing the scene, but instead staying there and unaliving Buba. This totally disregarded the statement of Sunday Jackson, where he said that he was stabbed in the leg, which rendered him incapacitated and unable to flee the scene at the particular time. Sunday Jackson's lawyers saw that the ruling was unfair in the High Court of Yola, and they appealed to the Supreme Court to grant Sunday Jackson the right justice that he deserved. Apparently, the Supreme Court didn't attend to this case until December of 2024, and the verdict of this case was given recently, which still remained the death sentence by hanging of Sunday Jackson. Right now, many human rights associations, including the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, has called on the governor of Adamawa State to grant Sunday Jackson clemency because this is the only hope. If not, Sunday Jackson is on his way to be unalived. It's been 10 years since Sunday Jackson was put in prison, and it took them 6 years to give him his first ruling, and 4 years later, the Supreme Court now gave him the same ruling. Totaling 10 years since this guy has been in prison. Let's just hope that the right justice is given to Sunday Jackson, as this is a very, very sad case.
So, this man, I just allowed this video to play because I think this guy has a detailed explanation. He explained everything that happened, and this still is related to what we are talking about. You know, in Nigeria before this time, this thing happened in 2015, and this guy has been jailed and put in the jail for over 10 years. He has been sitting there for defending himself. But the irony is that this, ever since that time, even until now, you will see these Fulani herdsmen and these terrorists or whatever these bandits you will tell you, call them, whatever you call them, they will go to all these, harmless and defenseless farmers. They will go into their farms and beat them up and kill them. And now even sometimes take their farmlands and nothing happens to them. They are not going to be held responsible. No arrests that were made. Nothing that we have done as regards to these people that have been perpetrating this evil. But this one man stood for himself. He stood up for himself and decided to defend himself. Now they want to unalive him because he was defending himself in his own farm. Not that he went to the Fulani man's farm. The Fulani man came to his own farm and was grazing in his own farm, destroying his own farm. And now he had to confront him, and now fight ensued. And now, unfortunately, the Fulani man died because the Fulani man was violent and was even about to kill him if he hadn't defended himself. But what these judges were saying is very ridiculous because they were kind of telling him or asking him, why didn't he run away? When he found out that the Fulani man was becoming violent and all that, Why they didn't? That is always what they want, but they will not also ask why those people are attacking this or coming to their farms to increase. And this is why this problem we are having has been lingering. And the Nigerian government will tell you there's nothing. Oh, we are fine. We are all cool. We are fine because they are complicit in what is not happening in Nigeria. The politicians and the elites, they are complicit. This is the case. Now they are going to make an example out of a man that decided to defend himself, and now because are going to make an example out of him for defending himself for killing one herdsman or for killing one Fulani man. But these Fulani men have been killing a lot of farmers and a lot of innocent Nigerians, and nothing has been happening to them. So, since 10 years ago until now, the judgment has been passed that he's going to be unalived by hanging, as you may see. But the good news is that there is another Christmas gift. The clemency has been granted on the 20, I think on 23rd or 24th by the governor of that state, Adamawa State. And not because they did it, they didn't do it willingly. It was even the CAN, that is Christian Association of Nigeria, intervened and was even pressuring the Nigerian government to, release him on clemency basis. Other people, other, human rights groups were also involved until the United States got involved and Donald Trump. That's what made Nigeria government to release this guy. I am telling you because Riley Moore, who is one of the one of the senators that visited Nigeria recently, he made a comment that this is one of those things he presented. When he went back to the United States, there was a hearing that was held, and he particularly mentioned this case. So Nigeria government was boxed in a corner where they couldn't do anything. They couldn't have unalived this guy. But what my point is that's another gift that came from the United States, indirectly from the United States, because it was, even though it was the governor of Adamawa State that granted him the clemency, it was as a result of the pressure coming from the United States and Donald Trump that made them to do so. So, this is it. So these are the two gifts: the bombing of terrorists in Sokoto State and the release of Sunday Jackson. If it wasn't for the people that have been speaking out loud and doing everything, they would have, wasted this man, unalived him or killed him by hanging for defending himself. This is just one typical example of what is happening in Nigeria, the injustices. One of the injustices that have been passing unnoticed in this country. But thank God that Donald Trump and the United States intervened and this man's life was saved. So that's it. What do you think? What say you? What do you think about what happened? There's two things. To me personally, it's a gift, double gift. Because this guy, by now he would have, because at the time he was arrested, according to this guy, he was in school. By this time, probably would have been a graduate and even been working there. But 10 years of his life have been wasted. But nevertheless, it's better to be late than to be late. You understand? So now that he's still alive, it's only a person that is alive that has a hope. So now that he has been released, hopefully that he can, bring his life together, and justice will also be brought for other people that have been, kind of been mistreated, and nothing was done about it. So what say you? What do you think? Whatever you think, please put it in the comment section below, and let's keep on the discussion from there. All right. So, but if you have not subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe. Yes, you have not subscribed. Please do subscribe right now. I'll wait for you. Okay. Thank you for subscribing. Click the notification bell, share and like, so that this video will go around, so that many more people will get to see it. Thank you for watching once again, and see you in my next video. Bye-bye.